another live streaming class. I'm teacher Robin, and today I'm going to talk to you about two different grammar points that are challenging for intermediate students. So if you were watching last week, you'll remember that I talked about two grammar challenges for beginner students. And if you remember what those were, if you were watching, then feel free to tell me in the comments if you remember. And you can catch the video on our Instagram page as well. So today I'm going to talk about, as I said, two grammar points. So the first one, okay, I see many people are joining. That's great. Welcome to the class. So as I told you last week, we are going to be doing these live streaming sessions again weekly. So I'm teaching today's class, and next week, Marian will be with you talking about business presentation. So this is an important topic as well. Okay, Victoria is joining from Norway. Welcome, thank you for joining. Okay, so let's start with my first topic that is difficult for intermediate students, grammar topic. This is the difference between have to and must. So many students ask, when do I use one? When do I use the other? Okay, these are very similar because they are both modal verbs of obligation. Okay, we use these modal verbs to talk about something that is an obligation for us. So what is the difference? Okay, yes, I see someone knows the topic of the beginners class. Great, good job. Okay, what is the difference between have to and must? They're very similar, and in some cases they can be interchangeable, but the main difference is that we use must for an internal obligation. Now, when I say internal, it means an obligation that I give myself, okay? And we use have to for an external obligation. So this is an obligation that someone else, my parents, my teacher, my boss, gives to me. Okay, so must is internal and have to is external. So let's look at some examples so that it's clear. Okay, look at the sentence. I must clean the house this weekend. All right, this is an obligation I give myself because I look at my house and it's dirty. But no one is telling me, Robin, you must clean the house. No, it's something that I feel personally I need to do. So I say I must clean the house this weekend. Okay, another example, I have to pay the rent on Monday. Okay, someone is obligating me to pay the rent because if I rent an apartment, I am renting it from someone else, from the owner. So if I say I have to pay the rent, it's because it's an external obligation from another person. Okay, so let's look at another example. If your teacher tells you, you must complete the assignment by Friday. So the teacher is setting an obligation for you as a student. You must complete the homework, the assignment by Friday. So you, as students, will say, we have to. Okay, so me as the teacher or a teacher will say, you must complete the assignment by Friday. And so you as students say, we have to complete the assignment by Friday. Okay, so another difference here, when we talk about someone else's obligation, we use have to. So if I'm talking about anyone that is not me who has an obligation, we use have to. Perfect, Ariana, we have to do the homework. Exactly, good, great job. Okay, so if I'm talking about someone else, for example, my friend Jason has to wear a uniform to work. That is his obligation. It's not my obligation, but he has an obligation from someone else. His boss says, you must wear a uniform to work. So I say, Jason has to wear a uniform to work. Okay, and another exception I want to point out is that must, the modal verb must, only exists in the present tense, okay? We can only use it when we are talking about the present, okay? So what do we do in the past or in the future? We use have to in the correct tense. So for example, yesterday I had to walk the dog. So I would not say yesterday I must walk the dog. No, because it happened in the past. Yesterday I had to, so this have changes to had because it's past. Yesterday I had to walk the dog. And tomorrow I will have to make a presentation. Okay, so remember with both of these modal verbs, must and have to, they are always followed by the infinitive. So I must study, I must do, I must go, always followed by the infinitive, okay? So I hope that that was clear. If you want to write a few examples in the comments, I'm going to check what people are saying. If you want to write a few examples in the comments, then I would be happy to read them, okay? I see we have people joining from Brazil, from Venezuela. Today we are live on both Instagram and YouTube, so that's why I keep turning my head if you see me, because I am streaming on 2 different phones on 2 different channels. So thank you to everyone who has joined. Mariana, Gonzaga, thank you for joining. All right, so hopefully that point is clear now, this grammar point that is confusing, and now I'm going to move on to another one that I know many students struggle with a lot. And this is the difference between do and make, all right? Everyone asks, everyone struggles with this. Why? Because depending on your native language, let's take Spanish for example. In Spanish, do and make are the same verb. So it can be so confusing to differentiate. When do I use one? When do I use the other? Okay, someone is joining. Red Baron, hello, so good to see you here. Gloria, I must go to the doctor because I feel sick. Great, great example. Okay, let's move on now to do versus make, and I'm going to tell you when to use one or when to use the other, okay? And you can write some examples as we go along. All right, let's start with make. We use make when we create something, okay? So physically create something with our hands, for example. So you can use this to talk about food. You make a cake, for example. I make a birthday cake for my friend, all right? We also use it to talk about some things around the house, like make the bed. So we don't say I do the bed, we say I make the bed. So that's when you arrange the sheets and make everything look nice. Okay, we can also talk about organization, like make an appointment or make a reservation at a restaurant. For example, we use the verb make. We also use the verb make when we talk about jokes. For example, I make a joke. I don't do a joke. I make a joke. Yes, a mistake. Great, good job. Someone has, Ahmed, thank you for that example. I made a mistake. So I made a mistake while speaking to him. Yes, we make mistakes in English. So that's an important one to remember, but it's okay to make mistakes because that's how we improve. All right, when talking about financial things, you make money. For example, I make money, which means that you work and you earn a living. I make money. I make a fortune if you make a lot of money. All right, communication. I make a phone call. So when you call someone, you make a phone call. All right, and we can use it when talking about relationships, like I make friends. So yesterday, you can say yesterday I made a friend, which means you met someone and you became friends with them. So to make friends. All right, so remember, this is when we talk about creating something, and also chores, finances, relationships, etc. We use make. So when do we use do? Do is more for general activities and repetitive tasks. You made my day. That's a great expression. Yes, Moonflower, Thank you for giving us that example. To make someone's day means that you make them happy by doing something, okay? If I say you made my day, it means I'm very happy because of something that you did or something that you said. Great job, good example. Okay, so with to do, as I said, general activities and repetitive tasks, things that we do over and over again. Okay, so when talking about things around the house, we do chores. So the chores are things like the ironing, the washing, the dishes. All of these we use do, okay? I do the ironing, I do the dishes, I do the laundry, I do housework. So things around the house. Yes, Ahmed, good job. That was one of my next examples, to do research. Yes, so you don't need an article. In this case, we can say I do research or I did research, which means you search for information about something. Okay, good. I do exercise. Yes. Are you reading my list? Because this is exactly what I was going to say. Good job, you guys. Okay, so I do exercise. If you go to the gym, yes, I do the cooking. Great. Good job. I do the cooking. Okay, what am I going to say next? I'm waiting for someone to write the next topic. Okay, so when we talk about our job, we do work and we do business with someone. Okay, we use the word do for those cases when we talk about our job. I do business, I do work. All right. So I hope that has cleared up some of your doubts. There's all kinds of expressions as well. Ahmed, I do my best. Good job. I hope you are all doing your best today in the class to learn as much as you can and remember these differences. So remember what I talked about, the difference between must and have to, and the difference between do and make, all right? And it's okay with these cases, you are going to make mistakes because, because there are a lot of, it's a lot of information, it's a lot to remember. So try maybe to memorize a little at a time. Okay, when I'm talking about business, I use do. When I'm talking about chores, I can use make for things like make the bed or I make a cake, etc. So just kind of try to use them. These are things that come up in daily conversations. So these are routines, things that we do all the time. So the more that you practice speaking about it, the more comfortable you'll become talking about these kinds of things because they're very common. Thank you, Ahmed. I'm glad that you enjoyed this topic. I want to thank everyone. Let me see how many people. Wow, a lot of people are joining today. So that is really great. I hope you enjoyed the class, and remember that we will be live streaming every week from now on. So next week, Teacher Marion will be with you with a very important topic about presentations. And I know this is really important for a lot of people who need to use English at work. Okay, I see another example. Do me a favor and close the door. Great example. If you do someone a favor, it means that you do something for them to help them. Okay, so do me a favor. Great, you guys are really doing a great job, doing a good job. That's another one with the examples today. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed the class. Thanks a million. You are welcome. And we will see you back here. If it's your first time, I hope that you will join us again. Thanks for joining YouTube and Instagram, and we will be back here next week. So take care. Bye.